Hey, good morning, good afternoon, happy middle of the night if you're planning late. I just moved. I'm at a makeshift desk that's actually a bookshelf in my office with all my boxes behind me, but hey, that's what happens, right? I've had a request for a how to make Desmos activities tutorial, so that's what I'm doing here on my screen. We're don't look at all those things. So we're just going to go to desmos.com. No, sorry. We're going to go to teacher.desmos.com. Now, some of you know that desmos.com does graphing. And that's very true. What you might not know is how much they've improved their teacher end of desmos.com. It's huge. I'm really impressed with all the cool things that I can do once my internet decides to work with me. Come on, internet. Okay, great. There we go. I don't know what that was. First thing you have to do is sign in. It's underneath my face, but you just sign in with Google. Please don't pause that and email me on my random email accounts. You'll find it's fine. What you're gonna do is, so Desmos has really cool stuff. You can look up a lot of things. It actually helps to go see the marble slides because they have really cool graph things where the kids have to transform the graphs to make them work. But what I'm going to show you today is this custom screen. These are ones that I've made. Oof. I've made a lot. And they have vastly ranged over the years with how cool this stuff is. So polygraphs are, it's like Guess Who, where the kids go, oh, is your graph transformed up? Or is your graph stretched out? And that kind of thing. And they have to click down the what's that game called? I just said it, Guess Who tiles to figure out what's left. But we're not going to make that today. We're going to make a new activity, and I'm going to show you all of the options out there. We're going to call this, hey, yo, this is neat. Okay, so here's all these options on here. And I'm going to tell you the pros and cons of these and what you can do if there's something that's missing, because Desmos always wants to know. As far as I'm aware, they make really cool things because of teachers like you who say, hey, I really wish this was a thing that I could do. By the way, underneath my face, there's a button that says preview and a button that says next. They're right here. So I was trying to get out of the way of this, but I guess I should have put it maybe at the bottom or something. Let me just do that really quick. I can just, oops. I don't know if that actually, if you saw that or not. I'll put my face down here. So up here it says preview and next. So let's walk through these options. So a graph. If I just have a graph, the students will see all of these things. Now let's say that I don't want them to see one of these things. Let's say that I have a function x squared plus 3 and I want them to match it. One thing I can do is I can add a folder, and what happens is I can hide this folder from students. And I'm just going to drag and drop this. See how the line's connected? That means that the students can't see it. So if I press preview, the students won't see that folder at all. All they'll see is the graph. What you can do with this is you can also add something like a table. You can say all the x, y values. My cat's on the thing now. It's going to wiggle a little bit, sorry. X, so 0, 3, 1, 4, -1, 4, so I made it even. If I go to this gear, I can change the color of this to match the graph, or I can keep them different. I can also make them open circles, X's. Open circles is really good for calculus because we have those jump discontinuities and stuff like that, and then points like this, but I kind of like them to be the same. Now notice that this is not part of the line right here. So I actually do have to kind of drag this over until it is part of the folder. So I don't want the kids to see it. Maybe what I want them to see is f of x equals x squared, equals x squared plus b. Maybe that's what I want them to see. Something that you might know that Desmos does is it does these sliders. So b, what the kids will see is this slider right here that starts out at 1, and they can move it. And your instructions might say move b so that way you figure out what that value is. I should have used c because I don't want to confuse them from bx. and I can get rid of the B slider. Now what I can do is I can move this to be part of the folder, or I can leave it out. Your call, I don't care. They might try to modify this, but I like the sliders. Now, one thing that you might want to do is change it so that way the step is by ones, because that means that the kids don't get to 2.25, they just see, oh, it's 3, right? They don't have to meddle with it being perfect. Now, here's one thing that I want to caution you on. If my instructions are move the slider to match the graph, or whatever it is, watch the preview. There's no slider anymore. So when you do things with graphs and something else, that extra part of the graph goes away to save space. So if I want them to be able to modify that, I put the directions in the top, I erase anything else I have, and then the slider's on the page. So then they have it, and then they can press next if I had another page. So that's graphs. Let's do another one. Let's say that I want to have a table. Something cool about tables is what I do is when I need them to input a lot of information, like a lot of answers, and I don't have enough space, I'll use a table to say something like, so this is going to be a text. So I'll say like words, and then over here I'll say expression or whatever it is. And maybe the words are the sum of a number and 3. And then I leave this for them to fill in. Do you see how this got gray? So the kids can't type in this box. They can only type in the white boxes. And I might do another one where I have the expression 7x, and they have to write in the words. I can also allow them to add rows. So I could say, fill in the blanks and then add 3 more of your own, and then they do that too. So that's an option. This one I can totally do more things. So if I wanted to do a note for the instructions, if I wanted to do an input where I ask, so fill in the blanks and then answer the question, what is my favorite color? I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. That would be in a text answer box. Now, you can leave this button clicked where students see other students' answers. The first kids won't see much of anything. The later kids will. If you know how to pre-populate this, please message me, and I will add it to my, I'll add it to this, like comment below. Go YouTube. But I don't like to show them other students' responses because they can come back and they can change their answer. Also, some kids might be like, it's fart colored, and then other kids see that and see that it's a joke, and that's not good. The other option is, and then enter the expression, for half a number plus 7, or whatever it is. In that case, we want to change this one to math, and then I want the students to explain their answer sometimes. So what they'll see is they'll see a math answer box, and we go like half n plus 7, and then if I press submit, it'll say explain your thinking, and I have to explain what I'm thinking to be able to move on. Other kids might say half of n plus 7 because I didn't specify in this problem. And so having them explain their thinking might go, oh wait, I should probably fix my answer or something like that. Okay, so then let's do another one. Here's one I like a lot. I can sketch. What I like to do is I like to do a graph. I preview what I want from my graph. So let's say I'm doing another quadratic, x squared minus 4x plus 3. Okay, great. I was hoping that'd be nice numbers. And then I see that I need this graph to be over here. So what I'll do is I'll make it projector mode to make it bolder. And then I just want it to go from negative to to maybe 6, and then y-axis from at least -1, maybe -2, to 10 maybe even. So I have this cool graph. So then actually what I'll do is I'll erase this now, so I don't want it. So then the kids see that graph, and then my note would be something like sketch or add, sorry, it's my table is not secure, half of my laptop's hanging off. Add points to make the quadratic x. This is where I do the f of x button underneath my head. I have to move my face again. It's right here. Okay, I'm putting it back. And then I do like y equals x squared plus or minus 4x plus 3. I think that's what I said. And so what the kids see is that there's these, I can do a pencil line, I can draw a line, I can pick what color it is, or I can just do like dots. So it doesn't show up at 8, it shows up at 3. I should have done that better. 3, 1, 3. So then I know it's even over here, because this is my axis of symmetry. That was a terrible job. Be nice to your kids when you do this because they don't always know what they're doing. And then I can like, so notice that it's not perfect. It's not even nice. But if I just add the points, that's fine for me. Okay. Something else that I'll do with this, sorry, is that I will do a custom image. And I have like I have like pencil paper, so I might be like solve the quadratic, y equals, or 0 equals. And then technically the kids can like doodle over here and they can be like, oh, well, if I factor this, but it's not pretty, it's not nice, but it is a way to like kind of show your work on Desmos. So that's maybe not what it's meant to be. You also can just do a blank background, and then they can like factor over here without the rulers of the lines, but that's your call. Oh, where's my dots? Was that on the last one? Nope. I want it to be. It's okay. All right. What else can we do? That was graph, table, and sketch. Media you can put in a picture. Like let's say that I want this picture in there. And then I do a note that says like, solve for the value of x. And then I give the kids the input where I give them the math. And they say like x equals blah, blah, blah. And I want to ask them to explain their answer, and I don't want them to see the other people's answers. Okay? And then I would do like a picture, because some kids are visually impaired, and this is also kind of fuzzy, of the space needle, which has a height, and I would explain the things. Needle, yeah, so I would explain all this that way. If a student is visually impaired and has something reading pictures to them, they can actually still participate. It helps with accessibility. Okay, we've done notes, we've done input. Let's talk about choice. So let's say I have a question and some sort of picture of something. Y'all don't judge me for all my pictures on my computer right now. Here's a blueprint. My note could be like, the total area of this first level is 300 square feet, which is clearly wrong. I would actually do feet and then square it. True and false, let's just say. Right? I can do that. If I want it to be like a checkbox where they do all of the above, it's multi-select. That gives me the checkboxes. But if it's simple, I just do one or the other. Also, this is pretty cool, and I haven't played around with this a lot apparently, because I can also add a graph. So I can do like y equals sine of x. And I can insert that as one of the options. Like that can be, it doesn't make sense in this specific case, but you can do a multiple choice test question with options as graphs, which is something that I have, like Google Forms does the same thing, which is pretty cool. But this actually does it as a Desmos graph, which I think is pretty neat. And I want the kids to explain their answer, and I don't want to see their response choices. I can randomize these options if I want to, if I'm afraid of cheating. In this case, true and false always go true, false, and it kind of helps kids to see, but I don't know. Okay, so then that could be the next one. More. I haven't played around with action buttons. I think it resets the thing or something like that, but I'm not really sure. Card sorts are huge. Let's actually go through these. So let's talk about card sorts. Now this is a big picture thing, and I might actually link to this specific spot because that really helps. So here's the thing about card sorts. If you do a card sort that's just like how we did in slide 2, where it was like x plus 7, and then, ooh, I should have made that equation. The sum of a number and 7, something like that, right? So what would happen is these two, this is kind of how it would show up. These two would slide completely together. Some kids like to do this and it's wrong. Like it doesn't do it. So you have to like pop it in there and it makes the two cards. They can move the two cards around, they can separate them, they can collapse it. So that's one option. You can do this where there's more than one thing, where it's like a number plus 7. I can't type right now, apparently. So then my answer key can be that all of these are together. That's pretty cool. It doesn't have to be that way though. So I'm actually going to show you what this looks like on the other end. Yeah, I'll show you what it looks like by signing in twice. It'll be okay. And so what'll happen is on the teacher dashboard, you'll be able to see which kids have correct things. Don't show them that you can see that, or don't leave it up the whole time, because what they'll do is they'll guess and check until everything's green on their page. It's fine. You can also add an image. So if I had, I don't know, like, let's walk through this. So I use Canva frequently. And I did a guess and check to see what card sorts would work. Long ones don't work on the screen as well as short and fat ones do. And I've already made these existing. I just typed in a box. I found little circles. These are actually 2 circles put together. And then I downloaded them all. So I've already done this. I don't want to do it twice. So what I might do is I might add this just to show you, because I did a lot of trial and error to figure this out. When I do this preview, this is not good. This is fuzzy. Even when you open it up, it's still fuzzy. This is clear and crisp. So the squarer, the better. The more square something is, the better. These don't match anything, but I might put them together just to show you, right? Now, when you first look at this, some kids, especially with card sorts, we know that sometimes it's really useful just to see what the kids do with a card sort. So you might not put instructions, but then also don't do an answer key, because the kids are going to be flexible with their thinking. But you could say like, match the words with the cards. Something that Mars does is that they don't have all of the cards for them. So what I did when I did this one was the cards that were missing, I made a table and I said, I need these cards. And I made it so that way it was text, because even if it's like x plus 7, it's better than having it be formatted like math and writing the sum of a number. To see what that did. Desmos knows that sum. Some of these kids don't. So don't do that. Do it in words. And then do it in words first, because otherwise it's really gross. Okay. And so then I deleted this column. I made it so that way there were 6 of them, because that's how many cards they needed. And then I didn't allow them to add rows. So when they see this, there's no way to like add more. They just type in the rows. Okay, that's good. I encourage you to play around with the geometry stuff. One thing that I like about this is that I can just make a circle. Like it gives me a point and a thing. I can make a polygon out of existing points even. I can make an angle here and it'll tell me what the angle is. Something that you might not like is that I can make a parallel line. So through this one, I just align in a point, it makes it automatically. Choose a line to set the slope, and I can also do perpendicular lines, which is something, again, so perpendicular to this line through this point. It's something that we teach the kids in geometry to do by hand. I don't know why. There's these things that do it for us, but I'm not gonna get into that. So if you don't want them to be able to use these tools, I haven't found a way to give them that option. And you also should be able to like dilate this shape on this point. Yeah. So about this point, this shape, dilate by a factor of 2, it made the thing for me. So, and the kids have all these buttons. You can't take them away from the kids. So it's amazing because it's quicker, but maybe do the in-class compass ruler or compass straight edge geometry stuff before you go into this, maybe. Next one. Okay, marble slides. Marble slides are amazing, and they've actually made this a lot nicer. So what I do is over here I type in the equation that I want them to do. Let's do that, minus 4x plus 3 again. Okay, so then I want to put the ball up high enough that it'll whoop down. So let's say I put the ball at 0, 6, and then I'll put the stars at 1.5? No, what is that? Oh, 1.25. I can't do math right now, it's fine. What is happening? 1.5. Oh, that's 0.5. Okay, 0.5, 1.5. Great, so that's right there. And then I'll do one maybe right here at 1, 0, and then one at, see how I'm not doing crazy things now, to -1. So those are my stars. And then I'll probably pop one up here too. You gotta be careful with gravity because sometimes the ball won't go up all the way, so I can't do like 4, 3. That'll be too crazy. But I can do 3, 0. Great. So if I press launch, whoop, right? Actually, I probably could have done 4, 3. Now what you do is you get rid of this. And it's your choice. You can give them plus bx plus c. You can give them this. Add sliders. You can add a folder that doesn't show to kids. Like these are all options. Or I can put this and they just have to slide around B. Oh, that got closer. Let's see. That looks like it works. Now that is, if you do this though, they'll see exactly where you put these, so you have to be careful to reset it. Like put this at 0. Wherever you leave it is where they're gonna start. And then again, you can do the same thing with this gear to change the step to be 1 and this step to be 1. So I know they're nice numbers. And so then all you have to do is move the slider to match the graph with the stars so you get them all. I don't know. One thing I absolutely do is I will duplicate this. So I'll just duplicate screen. So I don't have to set this all up again. All I have to do is change the top part. I don't want to do it all twice. Okay. What was the last thing it had on here? Oh, an ordered list. So, I don't know. So like steepest to, the heck's the opposite of steepest? Shallow. And they're gonna joke that so-and-so is really shallow, so she should be at the bottom of the list or whatever, but So maybe pick a different name. And you can do like press F of X first because you want equations. Y equals 3x plus 7. Y equals 2x plus 7. See how I didn't do the function? Highlight it all, press F of X, it'll fix it for you. So on and so forth. Absolutely randomized, because when I do this, I do them where I want them to be. And then the kids will just like put these in order. You can also use your current order as the answer key, which I think is pretty cool. Now, can you use this as a quiz? Maybe. Desmos has some pretty cool like things that it's the way you ask the questions. And if you do this in class, maybe you can lock down the Chromebook so that way the kids only see Desmos. I think there's a way to do that on Chromebooks, but I don't know. That's up to your school to do. That way the kids can't go to other screens. But and at home, maybe they'll ask their friend for help. But I think this is super good for like a quiz review because it's just so like anything that I want to do in Desmos I can pretty much do. I'm still mad about this. I can't add more cards. So like if I matched these and then I wanted my next screen to be those matches still, but then add more cards to it, I can't do that yet. I did email them, so maybe they'll fix it, but there's just things that I want to do sometimes that I can't quite do, but this wasn't even an option years ago. So having these is huge. Also, Desmos Labs are pretty cool. So Desmos Labs have, I clicked the geometry button. So if you didn't have geometry, come to Desmos Labs and click the geometry button. Same thing with the marble slides. I don't think I did this. Maybe I should look more into this one, but that seems like it's high level, so I don't want to scare you. I'm not gonna do it right now on screen. But like this isn't even an option in some places, so you have to click on it for the Desmos Labs, and I'm sorry if it's gone, but I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's great. But that, in a nutshell, is how I make Desmos work for me. Now, this is what everybody's going to see as a teacher. So maybe this isn't my picture that I wanted to use. I don't know when that got in there. Maybe it's this one. Square, anything that's square. So over here with Canva, let's just do a quick Canva tutorial. I can create a design that's square. So I'll do maybe, custom dimensions, maybe 400 by 400 pixels. That seems legit. And then I can do like, why is it zoomed out? Why is my screen zoomed out? That's what I don't like. There we go. So what you can do is maybe a photo. I use this blackboard frequently as my set as background. And then maybe I'll do like a little box or something. And I'll go algebra 1. Oops. Cumulative review. I don't like this font. Hard to read when it's small. And then maybe units 1 to 8. Make those all bigger. Find a new font. Is chalk an option? I typed this in once and it didn't quite work. Maybe that. Maybe smaller that. That's fine. And so if I download this is not a huge Canva thing. Maybe I should just make a Canva one someday, but. So then I downloaded it in Chrome, so it's just popped up at the bottom and I can just put it up here. See how this is really small and this is really small? I'll probably go back and fix it. Today I'm not going to. And then Algebra 1 students. This is for teachers usually. Practice. What did I do today? Words to expressions. And graphing quadratics. Actually, this was a test run on Corvid Courses channel. I always called COVID courses or COVID, so I just decided that it was, let's do crows. Again, I can add any math to this. I can make it so that it's only for me or any with the link. Something you can do, sorry Desmos, is you can actually do a Google search for site, teacher.desmos.com. I totally have done this recently, and I'm looking for things about Mars. So these are anybody's, you're fine, sorry. Anybody's Desmos activities that I can do. I don't know if this will show up on there, but it's on Desmos. So, oh, this one's not. This is the somebody. Stop it. Sorry. Somebody made a I don't even see him. Somebody made a in-class notes version of the same thing, which is pretty cool. So, teacher guides. This actually might be because it's on teacher.desmos.com. So maybe that is right. No, I don't know. I don't know where this is. Publish. I forgot the last thing. Oh, teacher guide. Here we go. Okay, that's cool actually. It has my version of it, and then I can tell my notes on there. It just pre-populated that. That's freaking cool. So yeah, that's that. And then if you wanted to share it with somebody, you could share your activity with the link. Like you can copy paste. You can also post to Twitter because there's a huge math following on there that I'm not part of. Somebody, if I think I'm like TrigRox678 or something like that, but I never use it. So okay, so hopefully that helped you see the possibilities at least. If you want specifics on like something that's wrong, feel free to email me. Right now I'm gwillard@mvsd320.org. If you need something a little bit later in time, I don't know, it's 2020 right now. You can also email me at grace.willard, GRAYCE, it's right here. Grace.willard@live.com. My mom gave me the Y. Don't forget it. It's silent though. So those are the options for Desmos. I hope this helped. Please email me if you have any questions, and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. And I hope you, I don't know where my mouse is. I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye.